Hey everybody, we are going to be watching yet another placement match from the tournament that I am hosting. I'm trying out a new style of hosting today, so this is going to be a little bit trickier for me than usual. But yeah, down in the bottom right we have Xtreme, the pink Zerg player, and up in the top left we have our orange Zerg player, AltSJet. And this is going to be a ZVZ match, obviously, and we can see, of course, the Overlords finally, well, starting to make their way out the map already, as to be expected. And yeah, there's not much to do other than let's look at some pretty bases right now, and there's some pretty friendly chat going on between the two players, so that's always a good thing to have. And this is going to be interesting for me to keep track of. What I've done is I've actually recorded this without doing any talking, and now I'm watching the video of it being recorded and talking over it. Oh, look at the pretty campfire over there. That's one of the neat things about this map. I only realized it was there a little while ago. I think it's pretty cool. But yeah, so I am watching this video, but on another screen I actually have the game running, so that way if I want to pull up tabs like income tabs, production tabs, so on, I can do that and know a little more, and I can look and watch, see what other things are going on. So, we do see that Alt-S has, I'll just call him Alt has his scout in the base, and of course two overlords crossing paths having been sent at almost the exact same timing, and we see Xtreme sending a probe out, most likely to scout, because he's not even close to 300 minerals at the moment. And of course, yes, it is going out to scout, so we can see. And we see the spawning pool coming down for Xtreme, as well as there's a spawning pool down for Alt as well. His is just slightly delayed, and he's getting an extractor as well right now, so definitely getting that faster than his opponent. I'm not exactly sure if that means he wants to go faster banelings or just wants to get the speed right away. And we can see 300 minerals are saved up, so there will be an expansion going down for Xtreme, but both players having done pool first before hatch, really neither player should be in any advantage right now, except that now Xtreme does have the base down faster, and of course his opponent is slightly behind. Now he's got his 300 and he's going to put it down. Mostly it was because of the extractor that put him just slightly behind. If we look at the resource tab though, or income tab, units tab, you can see 16, 17 harvesters, so pretty equal for both players. The one extra being spent on that refinery, really, if you want to think about it, or extractor I should say. Oh yeah. Oh man, my voice is like a little sore and dry. Not a beautiful, lustrous casting voice like I usually have. And we do see the Overlord does have vision indeed to confirm that it has been built or started. And we can see two Zerglings now on the field for Xtreme, and they're just going out to scout, just do a little bit of map control, and we see 6 on the production tab for Alt, so definitely Alt favoring a little more aggressive play here, and both players actually surprisingly very low in the workers count. We have 16 to 19 for workers. Not really the best thing, and we can see not quite 100 gas was mined, only 80 gas, but that was probably because it was overmined. Yes, my mistake. Speed is already on the way, so 80 gas was overmined. Not a huge deal, but little things like that can make a difference as you get into very high level play, which thankfully for them it is not. We can hear a queen busting away at an overlord. There it is, picking away, chasing it out of there. And we see a spine crawler actually coming down for Xtreme. And looks like he's posturing to play a little more defensively, and another overlord was chased away from the main base of Xtreme, or destroyed I would say. And it really didn't scout anything too valuable. But Xtreme now being supply blocked because of that overlord being killed. And yeah, we have the beautiful flying weird land shark. No idea what to call that thing. And if right in front of the ramp we do have two overlords sitting right next to each other being buddy-buddy. Can't see that right now. But we do have the lings coming out, and Alt needs to run his lings. He does not have the numbers to compete with that, and no, he does not run them properly, and he obviously will lose. It's just a numbers game when you have 10 versus 8 I believe that was. You just cannot win. And Xtreme actually creating a wall off here to make sure that no Zerglings are able to run by into his base. And so yeah, he's definitely playing quite defensively right now. And we see that he has a Roach Warren just finishing up now. And there we go, the Roach Warren does finish. You can't see that. And there's another Overlord being picked up on the top, off at the top of the map by a Queen. We'll go to that in a minute. There we go. And it will die. 2 Zerglings or 3 Zerglings come try and save it, but they will not be enough. And actually, right now, we see the army advantage massively favoring Alt, who has 36 Zerglings to his opponent's 4. But his time is running out extremely shortly. His opponent, seeing all of those Zerglings, says, oh, I need more Spine Crawlers. Gets to very, very hard building placement. The units, the way that they have to run around is going to be extremely difficult to get around that hatchery. And double Evo Chamber coming down, and there we go, we see the Zergling going in just to see what's up, and now the main army's coming in, and the drones, of course, being pulled. Right now, what I'd like to see is I'd like to see all of the units target fire that hatchery. Just bring it down, don't worry about attacking the spine or anything else. You know, because right now, he doesn't have, he can't get the concave, can't get the position that's required to be able to do anything useful against this. And as we can see, also has been really neglecting his worker count. He's only at 15 harvests, but the hatchery does go down. This is huge for Alt, and this will let him get back into the game and back on top. Right now, if I were him, I would just drone up heavily, get a lot of drones. We see 7 coming out, so that's good. But, of course, could always see more. That would be great to see more. And, of course, the hatchery having to be rebuilt, and 16 larvae sitting there for Xtreme. But he's pretty much supply blocked right now, so he can't do absolutely anything until those Overlords pop. He does have a lot of Overlords. There we go, they just came out. Now he's not even close to being supply blocked. And we do finally see the Roach Warren coming down for Alt, very, very late compared to his opponents, and surprisingly no Baneling's Nest. I guess both players did not feel comfortable with the micro required to do a Baneling's Nest, and now they're just going straight into the Roach portion of the game. And we will see how this pans out. We see that Xtreme is getting both of his upgrades, 1-1 right now, for his Roaches, which is definitely going to put him ahead or in a better position than his opponent, who is not getting anything currently at the moment. We can also see Harvester count now dead even. Alt not really focusing too much on his macro. We can see the rocks coming down, being destroyed there. That signals that he'll probably be taking that third very soon. See some Zerglings going out on the map, probably just to see if they can get a free run by or do some scouting. Yes, and they are checking for the third base. That is what they want to do. We can see finally some drones being put back on that hatchery now that it is complete, but we do see an Overlord coming in for Alt, but it's going to scout absolutely nothing useful before that Queen manages to take it out, as the Roach Warren is too far over, but he's already seen that there's really nothing new to scout. You know, the best he could do is scout the Evo Chamber, see that it's moving, and see that his opponent's getting upgrades, which, you know, he's not doing. But a nice little win here for Xtreme, able to get some Zerglings for very little. He basically, you know, more or less free. He didn't lose anything. But right now, both players very, very even in the resources lost. Basically 1,100 for each player, which really isn't that many. But, yeah, so... And really no workers have been killed by either player. And we do see Alt is going to go for a Spire. I'm not sure if it's the best choice to have the Roaches right now and then just go for a Spire, but it can definitely catch his opponent off guard. But part of the problem here is his opponent already has that Infestation Pit out, and he is going to have Fungals, which can really shut down the Mutalisk extremely easily. So he's going to have to be very, very careful here. And, you know, still having his upgrades going along, he's got 2-2 researching right now. Whereas Alt really doesn't have too much. As we can see right now, both players pretty equal, but that will change relatively soon. And I really don't get why. Yeah, I really don't get why Alt is going for these Mutalisks right now. Like, they're just, I can understand in some way, but he's seen the Infestation Pit. He knows that, he should know that it's there. And it's not a great choice. And the other thing too is he's getting this third base, but up until now he's been really bad on his worker count. He only has 31 to his opponent's 45, and he has 15 coming out, but he's been, you know, that's definitely something you can improve on, is working on building those workers more often. Oh, and the Spire definitely gets scouted, and I would say that Xtreme is going to be happy knowing that he has his Infestors on the way already. Of course, he will be probably putting down a couple Spore Crawlers immediately, but he also has a lot of Queens. If we look at the Units tab there, we can see that he has... Nope, he doesn't have many Queens right now. I lied, but he's producing 2 more. I get ahead of myself having already watched this. And a nice changeling coming in from Alt. And of course now it's definitely confirmed that the Investor Pit is there if you did not notice before. And he's actually able to scout the entire army, the entire composition, which will definitely help him out in this game. But the big thing is, you know, he's got 3 bases, but he's actually still got almost the exact same resource collection rate as his opponent. Because right now, they both basically have the same number of harvesters. And of course, his vision isn't the best. Not everywhere, but he's got pretty decent vision. He's got vision of the main points his opponent will come out of. And he should know pretty much that there's no spire. He's been able to scout. And now the Mutalisks are finally moving out, and he's got a small army up at his ramp. But one of the big problems here, he's got a lot of Mutalisks, but if he's not careful, he will lose to his opponent just attacking his base. And this is really bad. He sees all of the units moving across the field, and yet his Mutalisks do not engage. This would be perfect. All these roaches are absolutely defenseless versus the air. He should be taking them on and attacking them, and no, he does not. Oh, Alt, how could you do this to yourself? Alt, Alt, Alt. And of course, spine crawlers coming up, but those are definitely too late. You just gotta hope that his opponent chooses not to push up the ramp right away, because if he does, this is going to be disastrous without the spines finished. And and the big difference here is 2-2 for his opponent, whereas his own roaches extremely weak. And we see the Mutalisks coming in, but look at the transfuses on the queen, keeping it alive as long as possible. And yes, the roaches are just dying so fast for Alt. Spine Crawler is finally finishing, but the Mutalisks doing almost no damage because the queens have been transfusing each other. Finally that queen goes down, but there's 3 more here with almost full energy, and they can just transfuse all day, and this is not looking good. Everything at his main base, as I said, has just been taken out. He really should be retreating. He's wasting too much time trying to kill queens who cannot be killed. He's losing his Mutalisks. He's not doing any of the damage he really needs to, and it's just going to be a matter of time until we see a GG coming out from Alt. You can see lots of transfuses on those queens, not a single queen out of those last 3 dies, and that's the game.